teachers, there are an endless possibility of resources available to us. On the internet, we have Pinterest, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Teachers Pay Teachers. All of these resources are great. However, at times, all of these resources can be very overstimulating and can cause anxiety, and looking at everything all at once takes so long to lesson plan. So in today's video, I am going to share with you 5 reasons why I use my curriculum. All right, let's get to it. Welcome back to my channel, Time to Teach. If you're new here, my name is Stacy and I'm a 3rd grade teacher in the state of Washington, and I am going on my 12th year of teaching. So within that time of teaching, I have taught in 3 different states, from Arizona to Oklahoma to Washington. And within that time frame, I have also taught in Christian schools, charter schools, and public schools. So in today's video, I would like to share 5 reasons why I use the curriculum that's provided for me. As I mentioned before, there are so many resources out there, and I've learned throughout the years, if I am going to keep my sanity with all the other pressures that I have as an educator, I'm going to just stick with what is provided for me. However, don't get me wrong. If that curriculum is something that I feel is not beneficial to me as an educator or to my students, I am going to question it, and I am going to research it and see what works for my kids. So in this video, as I mentioned, I am going to share 5 reasons why I use my curriculum. Reason number 1. Looking at my notes, guys. Reason number 1, curriculum saves time. And when I say saves time, well, it's there. I can take out my curriculum if it's a book that's provided to me, or if it's online, I can just go online, have my lesson plan book open. I can just look through the curriculum, look through my next lesson, and I am not going on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm not Googling, certain things that I need, certain worksheets or whatever it may be. I'm not creating a bunch of anchor charts. I'm just looking at the curriculum, planning my lesson, writing it down, reviewing the lesson, and I can even plan for the whole week. And of course, make adjustments based on my data and how my kids are doing with the lessons. However, it saves me time because it's there, and I can, like I said, grab it, write it down, review it, I'm ready to go. Of course, with everything that is on my plate as an educator, lesson planning is pretty much done on my own time. I'm just going to be real. It's done on the weekends and it's done on the evenings. I do not use my prep time to lesson plan because it's just not enough time. It's usually about 25 minutes, and I use that time to get ready for my next lesson. So during the day, I don't have time to lesson plan. It's, like I said, it's usually done in the evenings or on the weekends. So using the curriculum that I have saves me time, and it gives time back to my family and the personal things that I need to do. Of course, if there's things that I need, if I do need to make anchor charts, of course I'm going to do that to go along with the curriculum, but it's just nice having the lesson right there. I don't have to get online and research anything. I just use what I have, and it saves me time. Okay, reason number 2, it's provided. I mean, if it's provided and it's there, why am I going to go use anything else? And I mean that wholeheartedly. And like I said, if I don't feel like it's beneficial, 1, I've researched it myself. I've looked up the authors that have created the curriculum, and yes, I have done that. And I've, read reviews, etc. I'm still going to give it a go because every child is different, every classroom is different, every instructor is different. Even though your teacher friend next door said, oh, that didn't work for me, In the end, I can hand you over and I can say, hey, this is the best curriculum I have ever used. And then you go use it and you're like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to use this. My kids made no progress with this. It really isn't the curriculum. It comes down to the instructor, which is us, right? Or the instructors, which is us. And that's what it really comes down to, how you present it, how you use it, and if you're teaching it with fidelity. Okay, so reason number 2, it's provided. Okay, also within that curriculum, everything is there. You have your EL support for your English learners. You have small group instruction. You have assessments. You have technology integrated in it. When you look at curriculum nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, everything is there within that curriculum. And I hear so many opinions about curriculum lately. Oh, it's, curriculum is just made for, it's one size is supposed to fit all, right? Well, no, actually it's not, because everything is there for you. Like I mentioned, it's going to have your core instruction. So you're teaching to your highest level, right? Within your core instruction. You don't ever want to dumb that down. You're always teaching to the highest level. After that core instruction, then you can break into your small groups if needed, based on your exit tickets or your data that you did the next day. If you don't need to do small group instruction, then don't do it. But everything is there within the curriculum. It has assessments. It has mid-module assessments. It has end-of-the-unit assessments. Like I said, it has the technology integration. All curriculum made today has everything you need. So it's not just made, for one level of students. It's made to meet all the needs of all your students. And most curriculum is made by teachers. It's made by people that have been in the field, and I trust it. And if for some reason I've used it for months and months and months and I'm not seeing progress, I'm going to use something else. So let's go on to reason number 3. So reason number 3, I talked about it a little bit in reason number 2, is that curriculum is research-based. And most curriculum, like I said, is made by teachers, is made by professors. The curriculum is usually given out to teachers and they do it as a pilot, and then you can read the reviews and do your own research on that curriculum. Like I said, read about the authors, read about the people that have created this curriculum and where they're coming from. And usually within the curriculum, it's there. That information is there for you. And most of it's been used by teachers and it's teacher approved. So reason number 3, it's research-based. It has reviews. It's been used by teachers and created by teachers. Okay, reason number 4. With curriculum, you are given the opportunity as a teacher to teach with fidelity. And I know some teachers hear that and they're like, oh, well, Stacy, if you're teaching with fidelity, you're only meeting the needs of certain learners. No, I'm not. And I don't agree with that whatsoever. And I have to say, teaching with fidelity is really important, because if you're using a curriculum, you have that scope and sequence right in front of you, right? Like back in the day, fellow teachers, when we used to use the basals that for some reason we don't use anymore, it has the scope and sequence for you. Everything is laid out as a guide, right? So you're going to start with your first unit, and then you're going to do that unit. You're going to assess your students as you go. You're going to do exit tickets as you go. And you're going to give the end of the unit assessment. And then you're going to move on to the next assessment. So you're teaching it with fidelity. When I taught in Arizona, we were given Engage New York or Eureka Math. And it was mandatory. We had to teach it. We had to use it. And let me tell you guys, at first, I was skeptical. I was like, what is counting 10 way? What is this? Everything's based on place value. But in math, everything should be based on place value. And that's a whole other video. But with Engage New York, you have to teach it with fidelity, because the strategies and the vocabulary that the kids learn in kindergarten can take that all the way up to 8th grade. And if it works, if it's proven to work, then why not give it a try, right? Why not? If kids are making progress and they're successful and it shows results, the data shows results, then use it, right? With Engage New York, I usually use that as an example because I've taught it for years. I'm currently using it right now as a 3rd grade teacher. This is the first time I've used it in 3rd grade. My experience, prior experience is using it in 1st grade for 3 years. And it was so beneficial to our kids. Like I said, at first, after I taught the first couple lessons, I was like, oh my gosh, this is way too hard and over their heads, right? But I didn't have a choice. It was mandatory to teach it and teach it with Fidelity. Of course, you could add to it, but not take away. You could add manipulatives, anchor charts, other resources, whatever you need, but you couldn't take away from it. And I'm glad that I had to do it that way, because once you get over like that little hump, right? Once you think, oh, this is too hard, you're talking to your other teammates, the kids aren't getting this, and then all of a sudden you get over that little hump and your kids are talking about math and they're using the vocabulary that you're using in Eureka Math, and you're like, holy crap, this works. And you get so excited as a teacher because, oops, sorry guys, because Engage New York is not easy. It's not easy. Well, I don't want to say it's not easy to teach. It does take time, right? You do have to, of course, prepare your lessons like you would any other lesson. But at first, it is very rigorous for your kids, and they're not used to that, which I think is a problem, right? Because Eureka Math matches our state standards, right? So shouldn't we be using something that matches our state standards and has that rigor in it? If we're just pulling, one worksheet from this website and one worksheet from this website, and then we buy something from TPT, and I'm not knocking TPT, I use TPT, but I'm just saying, if we're using this and this and this one day, and then we're like, okay, let's test our kids. All of those things really don't go together. They don't have, when you teach a unit, they don't have a theme, right? Or Eureka Math calls it a story of units. It doesn't work together. Curriculum has a theme. It has a story of units. It works together, and it builds on those prior vocabulary words or strategies that those kids have learned, and it just keeps building, and they keep learning. And another reason why I use my curriculum. And my last reason, number 5, is why not? Why not use the curriculum, right? Like I said, unless it's just, something that is really not working for you, why not? Especially if you are a new teacher and you are so stressed out. Believe me, I've been there. You're so stressed out, you're overwhelmed. All of these resources are available for you and you don't even know where to begin. Use the curriculum. It's there, it's provided, it saves time. Teach it with Fidelity. Give it a go. See how it works out for your students. And you know what? It might work really well. And then with the next class the following year, it might not work. But my whole point is, try it. It's there for you. It saves time. And like I said, I've worked in 3 different states. Some schools I had mandatory curriculum. Some schools didn't provide curriculum. And some schools you just used the standards like as a guide, and you made all your own units and you were pretty much on your own, which takes a lot of time. And yes, back in the day when I was a younger teacher, I had more time to do that. But as a veteran teacher now, I'm trying my best to work smarter, not harder. Does that make sense? Because there are so many demands on teachers, it is outrageous. I mean, with data and goals and student goals and just all the pressure and all the things that are put on us. And it seems like lesson planning is put on the back burner when that should be the most important thing, right? So in the end, ladies and gentlemen and fellow teachers, if you have a curriculum and it's going to save you time and you're going to see results with it, use it. All right? So if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Please leave them below. And remember, your students love you, God loves you, and I will talk to you next time on Time to Teach. Bye!